Hello lovely people and welcome to Guitar Elevation. Yes, you read that correctly. We are going to learn how to make melodic improv and solos using only a few notes after this. Welcome back guys, and yeah, like I said, we will be soloing complete solos, full solos using only a few notes. We will not need scales, we will not need licks. You can put all of that on the side for now. Basically, this is for intermediates, advanced, and even beginners. And trust me, you need to stick till the end because it's all gonna come together. Plus, I'm gonna give you some more ways on how to use this simple system we're working on today. And the system I want to talk to you about is triad soloing. Basically, it's also called chord tones soloing. If you've never heard of that, well, basically what it means is that let's suppose we're playing over a track, and on that track we have an A major chord going on. Well, basically we are going to solo using the notes of that A major chord. If you don't know how to find the notes, don't worry, I'm gonna show you. All right, so if you're ready, buckle up, pick your guitar, and let's go. So usually over an A major chord, you would play the A major scale or the A major pentatonic. But that's not what we're going to do. What we're trying to do is to limit ourselves to the notes of the chord. In the example of A major, we're going to play the 1, 3, 5 of the A major scale. If you've never heard of that, well, it's basically picking the first note of the major scale, the third note, and the fifth note. If you don't know how to play a major scale, I'm going to show you right away. So that's A. That's A. We're starting from the A on fret 5 on the low E string, and we're going to play the A major scale. We're going to pick the first note, which is A, the third note, which is C sharp, and the fifth note, which is E. So that's how we pick the 1, 3, 5 of the A chord. And whenever we change chords, for example, if we go to the D chord, we're going now to play the 1, 3, 5 of that D chord. So that 1, 3, 5 of the D chord would be the D note, the F sharp, and then the A note. All right. Now that's for a major chord. If we're playing a minor chord, we're gonna also pick the 1, 3, 5 of the minor scale of that chord. So for example, if I'm playing A minor, the A minor chord, I'm gonna pick the 1, the 3, and the 5 of the A minor scale. Or we can do it more easily, which is take the 1, 3, 5 of the major and just flatten the third note. So now I have A, C, and E. And when I say flatten the third note, I'm talking about the third note of the scale. Alright, basically that's how we find the notes of every single chord. Now, in order for us to be able to improvise using chord tones only, we need to memorize what are the notes for every chord. So this is why what I did is I created a backing track for you in A major. You can find the link for the track either in the description section or in the first comment. I made it just for this lesson. We're gonna listen to it. It's changing between A and D at first, and then it goes to a minor part, but we're not gonna do the minor part in this lesson. So it changes between A and D, and on A I'm gonna play the chord tones of A, which are A, C sharp, E, and on D I'm gonna play the chord tones of D, which are D, F sharp, and A. All right, let me play that for you. Here goes. So that's A, and then that's D. A, D. 1, 3, 5 of A, 1, 3, 5 of D. All right. So as you hear, it's already, it sounds cool, even though I did not solo, I just played the notes of the chord, but it sounds cool, and it sounds melodic as well. So now that we've covered this, you need to be able to play those 1, 3, 5 of every single chord everywhere on the fretboard. This is where it gets tricky, Well, you need to know your theory. Basically, you need to know where those notes are all over the fretboard. And in case you need to know that, I can also link you to another lesson where I teach you how to find the note everywhere on the neck. You can check it in the description section. But if you don't know how to do that, don't worry, we can use the chord shapes. So for example, if you know chord shapes, if you know how to play the A chord, A open chord, you know that basically you have a bar chord version of that, which is this one. And you have another bar chord version of this chord, which is that one. Okay, which is the same as that. Now for the more advanced among you, you also know that we have a C shape we can use, which is this one. Alright, and we can use also the G shape and all of that. But if you never heard of that, don't worry. All you need to know is at least one shape for every chord and you're good to go to solo. So basically, that's my first chord and here are my notes. That's my bar chord. And here I have notes all over the place. I have this. I can use, or I can use, or I can use, or I can use. These are all inversions of the same chord, meaning it's the same chord, but the notes are in a different order. All right? So all we need to know is our chord shapes or how to find the notes on the fretboard. Okay? So that's an A, that's a C sharp, and that's an E. If I know how to find them over here, then half of the work is done. And now all we have to do is just stick to those notes and solo over the track, which we're gonna do right now. So pick up your guitars and let's go. So for this example, I'm gonna play around fret number 5. This is my A shape, the chord tones of A, and these are the chord tones of the D major. Now I'm gonna give you those shapes. All you have to do is sign up on the link inside the description section or in the first comment, and you get access to those for free and all of the materials for all the other lessons also for free. Now I'm gonna just wait for the track to come back to switching between A and D in order to play. Alright, so on A, I'm just gonna play 1-3-5 of the A chord. And on D, I'm gonna play just 1-3-5 of D. Alright, so that's melodic, but it could really quickly become boring. So this is why you need to be able to find those shapes all around the fretboard. So what I'm gonna do now for the next example is jump from this shape, alright, or this area of the neck to around fret 10. So here I'm gonna get other shapes, either because I know what are my notes or because I'm gonna use the chord shapes. So what I can do is, if I know my notes, find them around this area of the fretboard. So this is a C sharp, this is E, and this is A. Or I can look at the C shape, A chord, A major chord, and just, play on the chord. And for the D major, all I have to do is find the D note, the F sharp, and the A. Okay, or also take the bar chord D here on fret 10 and just, play around the chord. Alright, so now I'm gonna be switching positions between fret 5, fret 10, and other places around the fretboard, but I'm just gonna stick to the chord tones of the A major and the D major. Let's go. D major. Basically, you can look at those as being triads or being arpeggios. It's practically the same thing. So now we're going on F minor, C sharp minor, F minor, E major. Alright. Okay. So, basically, As you see, it's going to be more about the phrasing rather than the notes, because as you see, we are limited, but we always have to restrict ourselves first before we can open up and just shred all over the place, which we're going to do later on during this lesson. So for now, we've learned what are the chord tones, how to find them, and how to play them together. If you want to open up a little bit, what you can do is, for example, for a certain section or a certain cycle, just stick to chord tones, and then for another section, just rip around the scales. All right, pick up your guitar, and we're gonna play just chord tones, triads for the first 2-3 switches, and then just play scales. All right, A major or A pentatonic. Major pentatonic. All right, let's start with chord tones and start adding notes here and there to spice things up. Let's start playing more scales. And let's I forgot what I wanted to say. Alright, let me stop that. Or else I'll keep playing because I really forgot what I wanted to say. So we played. One more thing we can do is add more techniques such as tapping or sweep picking or string skipping. What I want to do here is something we call pedal tone or pedal note or whatever you want to call it, which is playing the same note repeatedly over and over again, but alternating with some other notes. It could get tricky because it uses lots of techniques such as hybrid picking or string skipping, but it sounds awesome. Here's an example. Here's another example. Awesome job, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. As always, don't forget to download the PDF for this lesson. You get all of the shapes I used in this lesson. And also don't forget to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this, stick around for another lesson. And please let me know in the comment section if you have any questions or if you'd like me to cover any particular thing you're struggling with. All right, I'll see you in the next lesson, guys. Practice well and take care.